When two giants of the wild clash, which one will emerge victorious? On one side, we have the Indian Gaur, a massive beast with bulging muscles capable of knocking a Bengal tiger off its feet. On the other side, the African buffalo, a relentless warrior of the savannah, infamous for its fierce fighting spirit that even a pride of lions hesitates to challenge. If these two titans were to face off in a life-or-death battle, who would be the last one standing? Would the sheer muscle power and overwhelming size of the Gaur secure its victory, or would the endurance and aggressiveness of the buffalo give it the upper hand? Let's step into this hypothetical clash between nature's living tanks. The Indian Gaur typically stands between 5.9 and 6.2 feet at the shoulders, measures around 10 feet in length, and weighs between 1 and 1.5 tons, which is about 1.8 to 1.9 meters tall and 3 meters long. Some of the largest individuals can grow even bigger, reaching 7.2 feet in height and nearly 13 feet in length, with a weight of over 1.7 metric tons, or about 2.2 meters tall and 4 meters long. This makes them one of the tallest bovines in the world, second only to giraffes and elephants. The Gaur has a physique that blends the features of both buffalo and cattle with a solid muscular build. Males have a glossy black coat, while females sport a dark brown or reddish hue. Their striking white stocking legs create a distinct contrast. Thanks to their robust bodies, Gaurs can stand their ground against formidable predators like tigers and leopards. Studies show that Gaurs are genetically closer to domestic cattle than buffalo, and they can even interbreed with domestic cows to produce fertile hybrids. In comparison, the African buffalo typically stands between 3.3 and 5.6 feet tall at the shoulders, grows up to 11 feet in length, and weighs between 1,100 and 2,000 pounds, which is about 1 to 1.7 meters tall, 3.4 meters long, and between 500 and 900 kilograms. Males are generally larger than females, while those living in dense forests tend to be smaller than their counterparts on the open savanna. Their bulky frame provides stability when moving, while wide, sturdy hooves help them traverse muddy terrain. Males typically have a black, shiny coat, sometimes with white rings around their eyes, whereas females and forest buffalo have a reddish-brown color. Although not a carnivore, the African buffalo is notoriously aggressive and can take down a lion with its thick, curved horns and powerful charge. They are regarded as one of Africa's most dangerous animals, symbolizing the untamed spirit of the savannah. Both the Indian Gaur and African buffalo are prime targets for top predators, but they react to danger in different ways, shaped by their environments, survival instincts, and natural weaponry. The Gaur, despite being on the menu for Bengal tigers, the most fearsome predator in its territory, is not easily taken down. Tigers, despite their power and agility, must think twice before attacking an adult Gaur. Only weak, young, or injured individuals are usually targeted. A full-grown Gaur relies on its massive frame, solid muscle, and sharp horns to mount a fierce resistance. Battles between tigers and Gaurs often become fights to the death, where a single miscalculation can determine the fate of the hunter. There have been cases where tigers suffered severe injuries or were even killed when attempting to take down these formidable bovines. On the other side of the world, across the African plains, the African buffalo is a preferred target of lions. Unlike tigers, lions hunt in prides and employ complex hunting strategies. However, even with coordinated attacks, bringing down a fully grown buffalo remains a formidable challenge. African buffaloes are legendary for their unyielding fighting spirit. When attacked, they do not immediately flee. Instead, they stand their ground and counter with deadly horn strikes. Many battles between lions and buffaloes end with heavy casualties on both sides. There have even been instances where severely injured buffaloes survived and later sought revenge on the pride, turning the hunt into a nightmare for the lions. The Indian Gaur boasts horns ranging from 24 to 45 inches in length, which is about 60 to 115 centimeters, curving forward. These horns are not just a display of strength, but also a formidable defensive weapon. The thick horn base provides resistance against impact, while the smooth surface allows it to endure high pressure during clashes. The sharp tips enhance its ability to pierce adversaries when necessary. However, Gaurs are not naturally aggressive. They use their horns primarily for intimidation rather than direct attacks. When faced with a predator like a tiger, they typically prefer avoidance or warning displays before engaging in combat. Only when backed into a corner do they unleash their full power. In stark contrast, the African buffalo relies on its horns as its primary weapon. These horns typically measure between 20 and 39 inches in length, or about 50 to 100 centimeters, and feature a distinctive boss, a hardened helmet-like layer of fused bone at the center of the forehead. The boss not only shields their skull but also enhances the overall strength of their horns, allowing them to withstand powerful blows and deliver devastating counterattacks. Buffalo horns have a curved, pointed design, maximizing their piercing force. In battle, an African buffalo can charge at high speeds and deliver horn strikes strong enough to break bones or send opponents flying. This lethal capability is one of the main reasons why even lions suffer significant losses when confronting them. In the animal kingdom, survival strategies play a crucial role in determining a species' fate against predators. Both the Indian Gaur and the African buffalo are formidable prey, yet they adopt completely opposite approaches to survival. The Indian Gaur tends to live alone, or in small herds of 2 to 10 individuals. Adult males often separate from the group, choosing to survive alone in the deep forests. This solitary lifestyle reduces competition for food resources, but also means a lack of support when facing danger. Despite their massive size and impressive strength, Gaurs are more vulnerable in the wild, especially when confronted by predators like Bengal tigers. If a Gaur is attacked, it must rely solely on its own strength and instincts to escape, with no herd members to come to its aid. In stark contrast to the Gaur's solitary nature, the African buffalo is a master of herd-based survival. These animals live in large groups ranging from dozens to hundreds of individuals, particularly in vast grassland regions. This strong social structure offers a strategic advantage against threats from lions, leopards, or crocodiles. When one buffalo is under attack, the entire herd immediately responds. Adults form a protective barrier around the calves or even launch a counterattack against the predator. This strategy not only forces lions to hesitate, but also creates unexpected reversals where the prey can turn into the hunter. Because of this communal defense, buffaloes are not just well protected, but also a dominant force on the African plains. When a herd of hundreds moves together, even the most notorious predators prefer to observe from a distance, waiting for the right moment rather than attacking head-on. Meanwhile, Gaurs, despite their physical power, must rely more on individual strength than on group unity. This gives the buffalo a major advantage in group battles, whereas the Gaur excels in one-on-one combat thanks to its superior muscle mass and weight. Aside from survival strategies, differences in combat instincts also shape how these two species engage in battle. The Indian Gaur is naturally more passive. It does not seek conflict, but instead relies on its sheer size to intimidate opponents. When threatened, a Gaur may use its body weight and sharp horns to push back an attacker, but its strategy is mainly defensive. If it senses danger, the Gaur tries to end conflicts quickly rather than prolong them. This approach helps conserve energy and minimizes unnecessary risks, which is crucial in the dense forest where it resides. On the other hand, the African buffalo embodies aggression and recklessness. It does not merely defend itself. It actively attacks any threat that invades its territory or endangers the herd. When faced with danger, the buffalo does not hesitate. It immediately charges forward, using its lethal horns to strike down its enemy. Clashes with lions or crocodiles serve as clear examples of the buffalo's relentless fighting instincts. Moreover, buffaloes do not fight alone. They know how to work together, forming solid defensive barriers or launching strategic counterattacks. Overall, the buffalo surpasses the Gaur in terms of combat instinct and boldness. It is decisive, fearless, and always ready to engage in battle without hesitation. Meanwhile, the Gaur relies on intimidation rather than direct confrontation, choosing to fight only when absolutely necessary. This creates a stark difference in survival tactics. While the Gaur focuses on conserving energy and avoiding conflict, the buffalo actively confronts any challenge head-on. If a one-on-one battle were to occur between an Indian Gaur and an African buffalo, the outcome would depend largely on context and strategy. The Gaur, with its massive weight of up to 1.5 tons, heavily built muscles, and incredible pushing strength, would be a formidable opponent in a head-on clash. If the fight were to end quickly, the Gaur would likely have the advantage due to its overwhelming power. However, the African buffalo is known for its endurance and relentless combat style. Its thick horns, reinforced by a bony boss like a natural helmet, allow it to withstand powerful blows and retaliate effectively. If the battle drags on, the buffalo would have the upper hand thanks to its stamina, determination, and aggressive nature. Another crucial factor is group dynamics. In the wild, buffaloes rarely fight alone. With the support of its herd, the battle would quickly turn in favor of the buffalo, as an enraged herd can easily take down even the fiercest predators. In contrast, Gaurs tend to fight solo, which could be a disadvantage in group encounters. In conclusion, the Indian Gaur holds the advantage in raw power and short-term combat, thanks to its massive size, immense strength, and superior muscle mass. However, when it comes to endurance, battle instincts, and relentless aggression, the African buffalo reigns supreme. Each species has developed survival strategies that are perfectly adapted to its environment and the predators it must contend with, making them both formidable forces in their respective territories. So, which one do you think is the true champion, the Indian Gaur or the African buffalo? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next exciting videos about the wild world of nature.